leaving the pit lanes, doing their initial warm-up laps. Qualifying has just begun. The car is just now leaving the pit lanes, doing their initial warm-up laps. Alright, we're going to be looking at Mr. Wyatt Hackley, who's been putting in quite a bit of time and practice in for this one, as he starts his initial lap. Alright, we're going to be looking at Mr. Wyatt Hackley, who's been putting in quite a bit of time and practice in for this one, as he starts his initial lap. Alright, we're going to be looking at Mr. Wyatt Hackley, who's been putting in quite a bit of time and practice in for this one, as he starts his initial lap. Looking like a pretty safe lap so far. That's not using all of the track. He's playing pretty safe. It's a nice little banker lap he's going for. Like a pretty safe lap so far. That's not using all of the track. He's playing pretty safe. It's a nice little banker lap he's going for. Pretty safe lap so far. Using all of the track. Playing pretty safe. It's a nice little banker lap. Alright, we've got Linksy on pole initially with the 128.1. It's only a fast track though, so we may not get down to 26. We'll see how the track represents, but for sure we should see some 27s today, I believe so. I'm going to cut up with Mr. Ike guy. Currently is up by 3.5 tenths. A little bit of traffic though, that might hurt his lap time. Currently sitting P2, 15 thousandths off pole at the moment. Oh, that's not very good. As the 99 car goes a little bit wide, Ike goes under, but that's going to hurt his time for sure. Gonna want to look for a little bit more space. Let's see if we can cut to someone else at the moment. Mr. Dimmick is currently up by 7 tenths. That might be provisional P3, P4. We'll see how he finishes out the last corner. No improvement there. And we'll cut to Mr. Linksy, currently up by 4/10. We'll see if he can convert this into an improvement as Mr. Watts goes on pole for 26.3. Coming down to the hairpin, Linksy is gaining a lot of time. He's currently a whole second up on his time. He's lost some on his exit there. Maybe has some wheel spin on. Let's see if he can hook up this last little corner. Hooks it up quite nicely. Nice little drive. And he goes. Provisional pole. 27.297. Mr. E. Watts, less than a tenth behind. Let's go check out Mr. Miles Mahal. Coming through the chicane here. He's currently 4/10 up on his time. That might put him around P10 if he can keep this up. He's got about 2 laps left that he could do. Excellent. He's gonna gain more. It's a second? A whole second. So he shoots up to P7. Putting up a 128.4. Just over a second off pole. Good little effort. As we cut the Dimick, saw that he was up on his time, but he is on an invalid lap. So Mr. Roberts behind him. It's on a hot lap. He's currently up by 7/10. That might be good for P10. Let's see what he gets as he crosses the line. It is good for P11. He dropped off a little bit there. Maybe got a little bit of wheel spin. And that looks like his qualifying is done. Lynx is improving. He's on the back stretch, it looks like. Coming out through the chicane. Oh, he takes a lot of curb. Unsettles the car, manages to hold on to it. He did lose some time though. So he's going to be trying to gain back. There's got a bit of traffic here. If he's smart, he would back out. Build a gap for one more go. It doesn't look like that he's doing that. He's committed to this lap. It's not an improvement. And he's got a car right in front of him. That might hinder him. Mr. Watts is in the pit, so he's no longer a threat. Is there anyone else who was up? Mr. Gonzalez is up by 3/10. 3.5 puts himself in the provisional P7 with one more lap to go. Should he does another one. Strawberry Banana Split Racing. That's a nice little team name, if I don't say so myself. We'll stick with Mr. Gonzalez here and see if he can improve. He's currently up by 2/10, which might get him in the P4 if he can hold on to it. The track is now ticked over to optimum. It's not at its grippiest state. for anyone who's dared to do one more lap here at the end. Gonzalez up by 6/10, 7/10. Losing some time on the other. He's still up by 6/10. That should be good for P3. With no mistakes here at the end as the Bentley goes a bit wide. Pulls into the pits. P3 it is. Oh! 10th and a half. Just off pole position. A little bit of shenanigans. Well, that is qualifying, guys. So we've got Winksy on pole, followed by Mr. Watts, Gonzalez, and Ice Guy and Carisha, rounding out the top 5. Looking further down the grid, we've got Mr. T. Jelink. I hope that I pronounced that right. The leader of the program class, or silver class, if you would. Class system is debuting this day for the split. After everyone getting got their performance ratings from the previous few races, so this is how we come down to. So we got Yao from the pro class all the way down in P17. Not exactly what he was looking for. I'm sure he's going to be trying to be making some moves during the race. We'll keep an eye on him and see if we can keep an eye on his progress. See if he can find himself in the top 10. We got a 60-minute race today, folks. They got 2 mandatory pit stops. Refueling is optional, but they must take tires on both stops.
Seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Alright. Formation lap is underway. We'll keep an eye on our leaders initially. They are currently warming up their tires and brakes. Looking a little bit down, we got Mr. Cameron Haas, Marvin Cavallo, in the AMG there we've got Antonio Martin. One of the Ferraris here, black and white Ferrari, he's got Mr. Christopher Flores. And followed by Owen McCartney in a Marlboro car. That's an interesting one. Don Fox, didn't expect to see him down there. Do believe he may have had a qualifying ban because he's usually one of the front runners. So it's going to be one of those guys to keep an eye on, making a charge to the front. So they come across the penultimate corner, running up 2 abreast. It's pretty good. Cut back to the leader. As they line up 2 abreast, waiting for the start-finish line. Not the best lineup here initially.
Green light. Go, go, go.
That Bentley is way far back. It's green flag and away we go. Linksy's got the lead. Gonzalez looking at saying, oh, we got a bit of touch. Look further back. Getting single file pretty quickly for most of the pack. Looking to be incident free so far. Flores taking a look on the outside. Looks like that's position done. Oh, as we got the Marlboro car going wide. Or is he taking a look? Holds his position. Gonna go around at the hairpin. Long way around. Oh, that's sadness up there. That's 1 car around, 2 car around. That's a lot of damage. Is that Mr. Wyatt? It is Mr. Wyatt. Sits there in disbelief. Spins the car around. Lights up the tires and away we go. He'll have a long race in front of him, but he's got the pace. With a good bit of strategy, could find himself in the top 10 once again. Thomas Jelink. Trying to go too wide there. Gets a little bump off the track. Gathers it up. Continues on. Only losing about 5 positions, so that's a little less than ideal. Oh! The Ferrari takes avoiding action. Just narrowly misses the Mercedes there. Now we've got a nice little bottleneck. Mr. Mahal says, thank you very much. I'll take 2 positions. But get back 1. Oh, there's a little touch. Bumping and grinding. It's a little early to do that. Oh no, is this a send? Full send there. That will probably end up in a nice little penalty. He does redress though. Very gentlemanlike of him. Love to see it. That's what we're about here at Zealous Racing. Oh, through the dirt. Through they go. That's less than ideal. McLaren keeps it straight though. Oh no. Oh no. So much sadness. The Porsche is in the wall. We'll move up a little bit towards the field, we got Mr. Antonio Martin. Second place in the Pro-Ams, P10 overall. He's looked to have gotten out of trouble. We'll be looking to settle down quite nicely here. Just put some laps in. I said Mr. Don Fox would be one to keep out for. Now, he started 24th, I do believe. He is already up to 14th position, having completed 3 laps. He is on the charge. At this rate, you might could see him in the top 5.
Pit window is opening.
Alright, so our pit window is open now. So, once again, our field has to make 2 mandatory pit stops. Both of them will need to be within the 50-minute pit window. It'll be a little bit interesting to see how the strategy plays out. I expect the leaders to stay out, but those in the midfield and the backfield will probably be looking for an undercut. Or the super undercut, as some may call it. Well, let's take a look at the front of the field here. Got Mr. Guisha and Simmons. Simmons about 7/10 behind. Guisha is one of those guys, he likes that all jet black livery. When we initially saw it, we thought it was a mistake. Oh, as we see, who is that? Gonzalez. Gonzalez goes wide. That's going to promote Guisha up to P3 now. Podium places. There's a lot to be said for just keeping the car on the track. Being fast doesn't matter if you're going to give away 5-10 seconds every other lap. And oh, Mr. Jelink, our first pit starter, first pitter. Gonna get it out of the way earlier. He was an incident, so he probably is gonna repair a little bit damage. We'll see where he's gonna come out. He could come out in a lot of traffic. There we go. Oh, that's the view. Is he gonna have a good place to come out on? He's got a little space. Slots in. It's gonna be in blue flag territory for a good few minutes until everyone else around some pits, as we got an incident in the last hairpin. Car number 19, Mr. Dimmick. Alright, we've got a 3-way battle here for this like P11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Headed by Mr. Chen. That's a McLaren off in the background. Oh, as the Ferrari spins. That's sad news. I guess if you're gonna do it, you'd rather do it early than late. Then you have some time to recover. He's got 50 minutes. It's long race still. Hopefully he can recover a few positions. He may be looking for an undercut. We've only had one pitter so far. No, that's three. I lied. Oh, we'll look to see how it plays out. Oh, I saw Mr. Conte was close as someone goes straight off into the barriers. That's not very good. 3-car battle, 6, 7, and 8. Conte looks to line up, going dive down the inside into the hairpin. A lot of room given by the Aston there. Oh no, as he spins him around trying to get for the cutback. Stewards might be taking a look at that one. Mr. Conti is not going to... Oh no, he has not practiced the pits. He doesn't know where the pit lane exit is. If you are watching this back, guys, practice your pit stops. Know where the pit exit and entry is. Alright, so field spreading out at the moment. This looks to be our closest battle on track at this point in time. We got Mr. Christopher Flores and Neurolinker Chen. We got 6 cars in the pits. Weren't as many early pitters as I thought there would be. There were certainly a few more in split 1. Another member of the Strawberry Banana Split Club, Mr. Goatbuster TV, Demick. Marvel car coming out of the pits. Slots in quite nicely. Don't want to take too much grass there. That's going to put you off. You did good to hold on to it. Oh, as the rear goes around. Is that a curse? Does that count as a curse? Oh, no. This guy's got to stop go 30. Was he speeding into the pits? You either cut the track or you sped into the pits. One of the two. He has taken a pit stop, so I reckon he sped into the pits. That's going to put him a long ways back. Always something to play for, though. We'll see if he's able to make it up later into the race. We haven't looked at this guy in quite a while. We've got a battle for the lead. Mr. Watts has caught up to Mr. Linksey. It looks like our race director has converted the stop go 30 into a 15-second penalty. Now is Watts. Is Watts going to look to try and pass on track? Is he going to try to go for the overcut or the undercut? Oh, the Ferrari takes a look on the outside. Nothing doing there. He's going to want to get a good exit out of this corner and see if he can force him offline into the chicane. Looks like he's too far back at this point. Dorcius is in the pits. Oh, Ferrari runs a little bit wide. It's going to cost him some time. Once he gets a little bit of fresh air. We got Haas and Mindy's in the pits. Haas has completed his first and is rolling. Minzy is taking his first. So at this point in time, Mr. E. Watts has a current fastest lap at a 127.243. Our current leader's fastest lap is a 127.8. Did the Ferrari underfuel a bit? I don't know. As Dorcius picks up another stop go 30. We're speeding in the pits once again. Right, we keep an eye on the lead. Currently, our closest battle on track. Looking further down the grill, we got Mr. Segura looking to hunt down P14 Menzies. If he does catch up, we'll cut over to that battle. It looks to be Mr. Watts is getting a bit of aero wash. He's not able to attack onto the rear bumper of the Bentley. Bentley is a big little beast, cutting a big hole in the air. Files Watts. Now is a good time to get the undercut. He stays in. And from P6, Simmons is in the pits. Looks like to be the first of our front runners to take a pit stop. Is he going for the straight even 2020 strategy? 2020. Alright, let's take a look a bit further. Dimick has caught up to Pete Menzies. Audi versus Aston. Let's see how he catches a little bit of dirt. Falls back as they head up towards the chicane. Oh no, Dorsey is once again with the stop go 30. Does he not know where the pit lane is? Go extra slow, Dorsey. Alright, we got a bunch of people in the pits. Linksy's out. Wyatt's, ooh, that's a lot of time he's lost in the pits. Followed by Gonzalez. That guy in the pits. Yao's in the pits. Mahal's in the pits. He's got the chin. He has not taken a pit stop as of yet. I believe he's one of the guys who had an off earlier. Oh, and there he goes. Jen's in the pits. Looks like he didn't speed into the pits, which is good for him. Let's cut to Mr. A. Martin. Now, of all the silver class that are Pro-Am class that has pitted, he is leading that bunch. Flores is ahead on the road, but has yet to take in his first pit stop. Just ahead of Martin is Mr. Mahal. Which is, I believe, that's the trailing car of the Pro class. Martin just showing the nose, a little far back to make a move from there. Listener looking chin. Let's come back. 12th place. Mercedes catching a little bit of dirt on the exit there. That'll slow him down a bit. We are now 25 minutes into the race. Our order is Guacia, Linksy, Watts, Gonzalez, and Flores. Guacia and Flores have not taken their first pit stop yet. Let's take a look at Mr. Yao. Yao had a poor qualifying performance. I believe he started in P17. He's carrying up to P9. So a good opening stint from him. He's already taken his first pit stop as he just got past Mr. Haas for P8. 17 seconds behind that guy. That's going to be a long stretch to catch up. We'll see. And is that Menzies with the drive-through? Oh no. Was that for speeding in the pits? Or did he cut the track somewhere? Yeah, let's hunt down Mr. Cameron Hawes. Oh, that's a dive and a half from the back. Glad they were able to avoid a collision there. That would have been sadness. But he's got to play careful here. He's got 2-3 cars behind him for position. So if he makes a mistake, Yao can mess up all that time and positions gained from the back. As Haas goes wide, Yao goes by, Mahal goes by. Martin's too far back, it looks. Oh, as it dives. Oh, is it getting really close? As there is a Porsche flashing outside. Oh no, sadness. Such sadness. This guy we haven't looked at all day today, Mr. Dario Segura from Mad Panda Motorsports. I believe that's one of the in-game liveries. Looks like he's running P3 in class. 13th overall.
are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
Mr. Gonzalez. Still just about a second behind Guacia. It's not able to get any closer. Maybe he's just biding his time. The best laps are only 2/10 away from each other, so they're pretty close on pace. The undercut's pretty powerful here. I wonder if Mr. Gonzalez will take it. Let's take a look at Mr. Tim Bergen from the Pink Fluffy Unicorns, running wide and eating the dirt. Oh, stay on the track. There you go. The pink car to go with the pink name. Oh, it's got a bit of damage there in the rear. The front looks okay, though. As Mr. McCartney has picked up a drive-through penalty. That looks like it's going to be for track limits. Pink car runs wide. It's the number 9 of Dorcius goes through. Dorcius is several laps down, having had several speeding violations. McLaren loses the rear there, takes to the dirt. He's being a very nice guy, staying there, not causing any trouble. Love to see it. Don't love to see them all, but we do love to see the respect. Let's take a look at Mr. Carvalho. He hasn't really got much any screen time. Sporting another in-game race livery from the Garage 59. And the Aston Martin. It's actually one of my favorite ones. Currently sitting at P2 in class. 12th overall. Let's see, his fastest lap is currently on 1:30.066. His last lap was a 1:30.303. Oh, as he cuts the chicane, he's not going to want to do that too many times. That probably earned him a track warning. And Mr. Carvalho goes into the pits for what should be his final pit stop. Gonzalez and Nagai have both taken their final pit stops. Both going for the undercut. cut back to Cameron Haas. S go. Or S car. Safety car, go motorsport. I assume that's what the S stands for. It's probably not. Mr. Haas, if you are watching this back, shoot me in DM. Let me know what the S stands for. The Lambo's front has seen better days. Mr. Miles Mahal. As Haas goes into the pits. And it's a gaggle of cars up here. Working the blue flags. Dorsey is trying to stay out of the way. Seemingly did a good job at that. Mahal currently running P6. Mr. Yao in P5, 5 seconds on the road. Mr. Linksley is currently leading the race, followed by Mr. Watts and Guisha. Mr. Watts has not made up that time from the time he's messed up in the pits. So he probably overshot or turned off his engine too early. Not sure what happened. Aston Martin getting quite racy there, even though that's not for position. We got Wackley in the pits, Martin in the pits. It's about half the field has taken all of their current mandatory pit stops, and the other half still have one to do. Take a look at Simmons. We haven't looked at him in a while. Bright fluorescent green or yellow Aston Martin. Is diving into the pits for his last pit stop. Let's see, does he hit his marks? Oh, that looks a little bit long. That will probably cost him some time. Mr. Nerlick and Chin. Oh, 13. Gonzalez has a drive-through penalty. He was already on track, so that's going to be for track limits. And that's going to ruin his race. He was possibly on for a podium. Now that's going to relegate him down to probably P10, P11. After everyone takes their pit stops. He's not going to be too happy with that. But that's what happens when you don't keep it within the white lines. Let's take a look at Mr. Alloy. Alright, guy. I hope I'm not messing up that name. One of my buddies, though, we've raced a lot in open lobbies. Currently leading those who have taken their first pit stop. That is the leader, so he's a lap down at the moment. But he'll get his lap down as soon as Mr. Linksy takes his pit stop. Let's hop in the car and go for a ride. This car looks to be fairly planted. And he looks to be very patient with the leader here. Different lines do they have? Oh no. Did he disconnect? What happened to Mr. Lynx? Oh, it's a desync. Lynx is in the pits. Oh no. T Bergen, stop go 10. That's a rip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people yet to have taken their pit stops. But yeah, Mr. Light Guy. Looking good in the McLaren. Gracious in the pits. We have a mass exodus. That does not look to be good. Server may be having some technical difficulties. That is no good. No good at all. Some people seem to have returned though. So this is their battle. Only battle on track at the moment for P3. So yeah, it looks like our folks from Europe are having some issues at the moment. Don't know if there's any cabling issues in the sea or any storms. But that really will suck for Mr. Linksey, who was dominating this race. Now all of a sudden finds himself a couple of laps down in P9 and will probably drop even further than that. Aston Martin getting a run. Oh, the almighty squeeze from the McLaren. Well, technically fair. That's not going to earn you any friends on track. Mr. Simmons will regroup and look to mount another charge. Yeah, Simmons definitely got the pace over Mr. Ike. That's one thing to catch, it's another thing to pass. And that guy is not about to let Pete through. Slip through his fingers. Simmons takes a look, shows the nose, gets back in line. we hop in the car of Mr. Simmons. It is awfully close to the McLaren. Now, if you look ahead, there's a little bit of loud traffic. Can he use the loud traffic to his advantage? McLaren runs wide, so it's no longer an obstacle. Oh no, Simmons is taking too much to the road. Going off track. Does a very good job to recover it. But that looks like P2 is lost. And we'll cut to Mr. Flores, currently running P11, fourth in class. And as we see McLaren off the road there, a little less than ideal. And then as everyone's going off here, what's going on? It's gotta be a bit of fatigue. It's a tiring race. Takes a lot of concentration. Very little room for mistakes. Battle fatigue is probably setting in for some of these folks. Behind Mr. Flores to get Mr. Menzies. Looking to unlap himself from Mr. Mahal. Mahal's in 6th. Maybe Mahal's got a little bit of a problem. Maybe he doesn't have enough fuel and he's trying to save some fuel. Menzies runs wide. Mr. Watts was running in 2nd. I believe he's one of the few people who had a disconnect, which is unfortunate.
Pit window is now closed.
Pit window is now closed. Everybody has completed their pit stop. we've got 5 to go. Mr. Guacia, Jet Black, leading the pack. He's kept his nose clean all day, I believe. And due to some fortunate circumstances, looks to pick up a W, which I believe this would be his second win here in Zealous Racing League. Alright, we got 2 to go. Let's take another look at Mr. Chen. Currently running P7. I think he was as high as 4th. He had an unfortunate off early in the race and has managed to recover. I believe he dropped down to P14, P15, somewhere around there. Has made his way back to P7. So that is a good recovery. We got Mr. Carvalho currently leading the Pro-Am class, P8. Mr. Hackley is 10 seconds beyond, so he is on for the Pro-Am W. Just needs to keep the car on the road at this point. Mr. Gonzalez.
Leaders on final lap now.
P4, he's done okay. He was probably going to be looking out for a win here with everyone with a few disconnects. With an unfortunate drive-through, he's relegated back in the pack. Alright, so let's hop on board with our race leader for the final lap. Mr. Guacia has come a long way from when he first joined us here at 0L. It's been one of our big improvers. This will go a long way in boosting his confidence, don't you think? 2 turns to go. You can see he's playing it relatively safe there. He's not about to throw it away. That's a sign of experience and maturity. And there it is, around the final corner. And Mr. Guisha is a winner
He's finished the race.
in 0 once again. Congratulations. My guy will come across the line in P2, representing RLR Bruzy Esports. Mr. Simmons was looking at P2, had a little off. Well, he will finish in P3. Not a whole lot to complain there. Mr. Gonzalez will rue the day. That probably could have been victory. Versus P4. Yao from the back. Almost. Finishes P5. That's a great run from about P16, P17 where we qualified. Yeah, Mr. Mahal set a pretty slow set of laps. As you see a car go off there, he's probably had an issue or saved fuel. Either way, he's going to make it across the line, it looks like. Come across P5. Congratulations to him. Chin, P6. And then Menzies. Rounding out. Oh, just gotta wait a little quick. But there it is. So overall results. Goisha, Aikai, Simmons, Gonzalez, Yao, Mahal, Chin, Carvalho, Wacky, and Dimmick. Rounding out the top 10. And from the Pro-Am class or Silver class, Carvalho picking up the W there, followed by Hackley, Dimmick, Flores, and Menzies. Alright, so if you're watching this back, hello, Mr. Borja Balado. Sorry, just now. See you there in the chat. But yep, most of the boys had a good race. If you're watching this back, thanks for coming. And we'll catch you guys next time. It's been a pleasure. Mr. Keg, our regular broadcast person, should be back next week. So you can look forward to hearing them go. Right, until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for checking out the stream and the replay.